It could be argued that in this community, the school system is a key component to economic development. What initiatives need to be in place or need to be reinforced that are already in place to produce graduates who are stronger in science, technology, engineering, and math, and therefore better prepared for a sophisticated 21st century workforce?
Last year, I was actually fortunate to see the Wilmington 2.0 presentation by Tom Looney, and I understand the whole concept of quality of place. The reason people move to Wilmington is because Wilmington is such a great place. And we have many businesses that could choose to take their business anywhere in the world, and they decide to come to Wilmington. Well, how do we improve education in Wilmington? It goes back to our first question. We need great teachers. And what makes great teachers? Great teachers are teachers who've gone to these boot camps and they've learned classroom instruction, classroom management, and how to teach their children in science and math. Our president, who I rarely agree with, actually spoke today about the importance of recruiting teachers for science and technology in this country. And I agree with him. I'm a science graduate myself, and I believe in direct instruction for children. So once again, to answer your question, I believe there is a need for excellent teachers and excellent principals.
Time. Mr. Higgins.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. The New Hanover County school system has already embarked on such a program through the Snipes program, where we deal with the engineering components, or the Freeman where we deal with engineering, Snipes where we deal with design, and Gregory where we deal with technology. I think what we've got to do is to continue to improve and support those programs. What unfortunately happened for a period of time was that we had a superintendent who let those things slide. The board took the reins of it and said we've got to reinforce those programs and we've got to once more get them moving forward. Freeman is a highly recognized program. Snipes is a highly recognized program, as is Gregory. I think we've got to continue to go forward with those programs.
Ms. Hughley? Okay. I agree that we really need to share and make known the good programs we have in the county. I think we need to do more and more to help students see from an early age the application of the science and math that they're learning. And I think we really need to look at organization in high schools and see how we can get students more maybe directed towards a profession or an occupation, but really have a different organization for getting students in high school more excited about school and more successful and get more and more of them to graduate. One of our biggest problems is the graduation rate. We have got to get more students graduating. Mr. Rhodes.
If you don't know where you're going, then the road will get you there. This board and this system didn't have a strategic plan until I came onto the board. So therefore, they had no plan for preparing students to go into engineering and science. Now that we are beginning to do that, the future jobs will be in knowledge workers. Unless we have a quality school system, a high-performance school system led by people who have a vision for the future, we will not get there. This board has not demonstrated that it has any kind of vision for leading students to do anything, least of all in math and science. Now with a strategic plan and a new superintendent, and hopefully after November we'll have a new board, we can get on with doing some things that should have been done in the past. So until we have that, we are playing catch-up. And hopefully after November we'll be in a position to provide those kind of service where all of our students will be knowledge workers in the future and provide the kind of industrial base that this community deserves.
Mr. Stein.
If we're going to attract business and industry and high-tech industry in particular, for example, to New Hanover County, we have to offer those people who are coming here two things. We have to offer their employees that they bring with them a good school system, otherwise they won't want to come. But we also have to have a density of qualified people that they can draw on to have for the workforce that's here. And therefore, it is absolutely crucial to the economy of this area that we have solid teaching in the sciences and in the math, because that is the area to come. One of the things that we rank 25th in the world right now in those areas. We're being beaten on that. One thing we can do is maybe lengthen the school year, but probably that'll never happen. But one of the things I see in science classrooms, don't teach to the test, teach to the experience. Foster the curiosity that kids have and make science be something that grows out of that. You can teach teachers how to do that. They can help the kids with their natural curiosity get into the sciences and get into math and find it as something worthwhile.
Mr. Thompson.
I think we live in a world that saturation is the common element. Kids are just overwhelmed by so much information they don't know where to begin. We have to break through that with excellent teachers. In fact, these kids live in two worlds. They live in the world, their iPod, where they're playing all the time, then they go into class and they're expected to sit there and listen and listen and listen. We have to break through them. We have to make connections between the technology that we want to embrace, the technology that's bursting throughout our world, and the schools that are not really able to take hold of that technology and apply it to children's learning. I think once we do that, the idea that we can use our roads to generate solar power, we need to think outside the box. And we need to have our children think outside the box too and realize that every one of them can be an entrepreneur. In our state, 150,000 of us are entrepreneurs, and we have companies that are under 19 employees. They can take charge of their lives, and if we inspire them to do that, learning, technology, science will follow.
Ms. Kavanaugh?
I'd like to say shame on those who say we have failing schools. Shame on those who say that we have employees who are not doing the job, because the test scores showed that this year our school system beat Wake County, beat Charlotte-Mecklenburg, beat Guilford. We need to improve our school system by having more Lyceum academies like we have at New Hanover High School, more focus in magnet schools, and more devotion to science and technology. But shame on those who want to say that we have a failing school system when we don't. We need to put credit where credit is due with our staff.
Mr. Hayes.
Well, just to add to that, you can also put Forsyth County schools in that list, that we excelled quite a bit above all those systems, and particularly Wake County, where we were supposed to emulate what they've been doing, and it was very disastrous. They were one of the lower large systems around this year. But to continue on what Mr. Higgins said earlier, with the technology, the Freeman School of Engineering that we have now, the cooperation that we've had and continue to have with GE, North Carolina State University, quite a few programs that we do have going on. And believe it or not, we do have and did have a strategic plan in place. So all these things are not necessarily new to this school system, but we need to continue that. And there's a new word, I think, being coined in the educational field called edutainment. And as someone alluded to, that these kids come into school, they're knowledgeable with all the electronics they have, and that we have to make sure that all that is being incorporated in our classroom instruction.